Horns blaring, vendors shouting, neon lights flashing over streets clogged with cars. Inside, waiters and waitresses rush between crowded tables. At the far end, in a simple uniform and worn black shoes, is Ada. She adjusts her apron nervously, balances two trays, and forces a smile as she navigates through the maze of tables. In a city that never slowed down, there were thousands like Ada, unseen, unheard, but carrying the weight of invisible dreams. Ada's first customer of the day, a wealthy-looking woman, snaps her fingers impatiently. Ada hurries over, apologizing softly. The woman criticizes the water temperature, even though it's fine, and mutters, "Service in this place is going downhill." Ada bows slightly. "I'm sorry, ma'am. I'll fix it immediately." Behind her polite smile, Ada's heart aches, but she refuses to let anger win. Flashback Ada as a little girl, sitting on a mud floor, watching her mother cook by candlelight. Her mother says, "Kindness is not for those who deserve it, it's for those who need it most." Ada remembers. She holds that lesson close. Back room at break time, Ada sneaks into the staff room during her short break. She pulls out a small, worn-out notebook from her bag. Inside are hand-drawn recipes, soups, pastries, ideas she dreams of cooking one day. Next to the recipes are hospital bills for her mother, stacked high and paid. She sighs, closes the book, and gets back to work. Dealing with rude customers, a group of businessmen laughs loudly, not noticing that Ada is struggling to balance for plates. They spill drinks but blame her. She apologizes again. One of them throws crumpled cash onto the table without looking at her. She picks it up, her face flushing in humiliation, but never once losing her polite smile. In a world obsessed with power, Ada had chosen another way, the quiet power of patience. Dreams behind the smile. Later, after closing time, Ada stays back to mop the floor. As she scrubs, she hums a soft tune, a melody her mother taught her. Another waiter scoffs at her. "Why do you always work like this?" Nobody's watching. Ada smiles gently. Maybe someone is. A wealthy man storms into the restaurant, shouting at the manager about a business deal gone wrong. Staff members scatter. Ada, tray in hand, turns and realizes she'll have to serve him. The atmosphere shifts. The storm is about to break. A cold gust of rain sweeps into the restaurant as the glass door slams open. A man in an expensive tailored suit storms in, dripping wet, frustration etched across his face. Mr. Martins, a powerful businessman known for arrogance. The whole restaurant freezes for a split second. The manager rushes to greet him, but Martins waves him off aggressively. He glares around, snapping, "Is this how you treat paying customers in this miserable place?" Ada, still holding a tray, is motioned forward by her supervisor. Her supervisor whispers harshly, "Serve him. Quickly. Don't make trouble." Ada nods humbly and approaches with careful steps. Mr. Martins orders coffee. When Ada returns with the steaming cup, he grabs it without looking and takes a sip, too hot for his taste. He slams the cup down, causing a splash. He snaps loudly, "Are you trying to burn me? You idiot!" The entire restaurant turns to look. Ada bows her head and murmurs, "I'm very sorry, sir. I'll replace it immediately." Mr. Martins sneers, "Of course you're sorry. That's all people like you ever are, sorry and useless." The public humiliation. He begins speaking louder, not just to Ada, but to everyone within earshot. "Look around you. Pathetic service. No ambition. No pride. No wonder this country is backward." Ada stands still, absorbing each word without defending herself. A manager tries to intervene, but Mr. Martins silences him with a glare. "I'll have her fired if you interrupt me again." Some customers lower their heads awkwardly. Some mutter amongst themselves, but no one steps in. Ada's hands tremble slightly. She grips the tray tighter to steady herself. Flashback quick flashes in Ada's mind, her mother's gentle voice. Ada, you're not defined by their words, you're defined by your heart. The image of hospital bills waiting for payment. The recipes drawn in her notebook, her secret dreams. She breathes deeply. She chooses kindness again. Ada looks up, forcing a soft, respectful smile, and says, I am sorry, sir. Thank you for your patience. Mr. Martins throws a few crumpled notes onto the table as a tip, sneering, buy yourself some manners. Ada picks up the money without resentment. She bows, backs away slowly, and disappears into the kitchen. The room is tense. Some customers whisper among themselves, some pity her, some judge her weakness. The silent observer sitting alone at a corner table, quietly sipping tea, is the old man, Mr. Attowell. He has watched every second unfold, observing the scene with sad, thoughtful eyes. He taps his fingers slowly on the table. He saw Ada's patience, Ada's humility, Ada's dignity under humiliation. Without saying a word, he finishes his tea. He makes a silent decision. Back in the kitchen, Ada leans against the wall, breathing heavily. Tears prick her eyes, but she refuses to let them fall. Outside, Mr. Attowell walks slowly to the cashier and asks for the manager. He gestures toward Ada. I would like to speak to the young lady when she finishes her shift. Night falls. The restaurant thins out. The once crowded tables now sit empty, except for a few late diners lingering over their coffee. The rain has stopped, but the streets outside glisten under flickering streetlights. In the back room, Ada wipes the same glass. She's cleaned 3 times not because it's dirty, but because her mind spins with exhaustion and quiet sadness. The invitation Ada's manager knocks gently and says, someone wants to speak with you before you leave. Ada's heart skips. She fears more complaints. She steps out nervously, adjusting her apron. Standing there, calm and quiet, is the old man, Mr. Attowell. The unexpected conversation, Mr. Attowell smiles warmly and gestures toward a corner booth. Please sit with me a moment, my dear. Ada hesitates. Waitresses aren't supposed to sit with customers. But something in his voice is different kind inviting. She sits at the edge of the booth, hands folded neatly in her lap. Mr. Attowell leans in gently and asks, What's your name, child? Ada, sir. Tell me, Ada, why didn't you defend yourself today? Ada pauses, choosing her words carefully. Because hurting him back wouldn't heal me. And it wouldn't heal him either. Mr. Attowell studies her for a long moment, nodding slowly. And why do you stay here, with people who don't value you? Ada looks down, cheeks flushing with embarrassment. My mother is sick. I send what I can to help her. I also dream of one day cooking meals that bring people joy, not anger. For the first time in hours, Ada lets herself smile a small, hopeful smile. The test revealed Mr. Attowell chuckles softly and reaches into his pocket. He pulls out a neatly folded envelope and slides it across the table. Ada stares at it, confused. I've been watching you all week, he says. Kindness in the face of cruelty. Dignity when no one else offers it. This city needs more people like you. Inside the envelope is a job offer letter, General Manager, House of Hope Restaurant, a new project launching to feed the homeless and train young people in hospitality. A scholarship for culinary training at a respected school. A small down payment to cover her mother's immediate hospital bills. Ada covers her mouth, overwhelmed. Tears spill from her eyes, but this time, They are tears of shock and gratitude. The offer, Mr. Attawell says warmly, "You have served others all your life. Now it's time someone serves your dreams. Will you join me, Ada?" She can barely speak, but nods vigorously. The camera captures a close-up of her trembling hands gripping the envelope, a lifeline she never saw coming. Silent applause. A few remaining staff members peek around the corner, watching Ada. The same co-workers who once rolled their eyes at her now see her differently, with awe and silent respect. Ada wipes her tears. She bows deeply to Mr. Attawell. And for the first time in a long time, she believes not just in dreams, but in herself. She looks up through the restaurant window, where the city lights shimmer like 1,000 open doors. Soft sunrise over the city's skyline. Buses rumble by. Vendors set up stalls. Life is already buzzing as Ada steps out of her small, worn-down apartment. But this time, something is different. In her hand, a crisp new letter bearing the logo of the House of Hope restaurant. Her face glows with a quiet, almost stunned joy. A new beginning. Ada stands outside a newly renovated building downtown. Clean walls, fresh paint, large welcoming windows. Above the door, a bright sign reads, "House of Hope, come hungry, leave whole." A few other nervous young men and women stand near the entrance. Other recruits, handpicked by Mr. Attawell from streets, shelters, orphanages. They all carry something invisible, brokenness and hope. Orientation day. Inside, Ada and the team sit in a modest training room. Mr. Attawell, still in simple clothes, addresses them gently. This is not just a restaurant. It is a place where people will taste kindness with their food. Remember how you were treated when you had nothing. Here, we serve with dignity. Here, every soul matters. Ada feels tears prick her eyes again, but this time, they are tears of purpose. Ada learning professional cooking techniques from a chef hired by Mr. Attawell. Ada teaching others how to set tables with care. Team members laughing, sometimes failing, but always encouraged. Ada visiting her mother at the hospital, placing the first check for treatment in her mother's trembling hands, her mother smiling proudly. You have always had a heart that could feed nations. Opening day, a crowd gathering at the entrance. Local TV stations show up. Journalists snap photos. Curious citizens and struggling families alike stand in line. Ada, now wearing a smart chef's jacket, nervously watches from the kitchen door. Mr. Attawell touches her shoulder and says, "You belong here, Ada. Shine." Ada steps forward to cut the ribbon, her hand steady, her heart pounding. She officially opens the House of Hope. An exhausted construction worker receives a hot plate and tears up. A pregnant teenage girl is given food and treated like royalty. Street boys laughing over steaming bowls of jollof rice, egusi soup, chapati depending on local flavor. Ada teaching a young orphan how to hold a serving tray with pride. At every table, kindness is served first. Ada's dream has come full circle, but it's not about fame. It's about lifting others the way no one lifted her. One evening, Ada sees a tired, angry man shouting at a volunteer. She steps forward, calming the scene with kindness and patience the same way she had once endured. The man eventually sits down, eats quietly, and thanks her before leaving humbled. Mr. Attawell watches from the doorway, smiling. "You've built something no money can buy," he says later. "You've built a place where broken people heal." Ada simply smiles and says, "It's what my mother taught me, feed the soul, not just the body." The restaurant lights dim at closing time. Ada sits by the window, looking out at the dark city now lit with thousands of tiny lights. She whispers softly, "Kindness always wins." The golden hues of sunset flood the restaurant. Outside, the The streets pulse with the city's endless energy. Inside, the House of Hope is winding down after another long day of service. Ada wipes down tables not out of duty, but with pride, each table representing a life touched, a spirit uplifted. The new recruits laugh together in the kitchen. The sound of joy fills the building. A familiar face returns, the restaurant door creaks open. In steps a sharply dressed man, Mr. Martins, the very businessman who once humiliated Ada months ago. He looks around, slightly confused, clearly not recognizing the name House of Hope. Ada stands behind the counter. Their eyes meet. A flicker of recognition crosses his face, and this time, he is the one who looks embarrassed. Mr. Martins approaches awkwardly. He orders quietly, avoiding Ada's gaze. Ada could have shamed him. She could have treated him coldly, a taste of his own medicine. But instead, she smiles warmly and says, "Welcome. Please have a seat. It's our honor to serve you." Mr. Martins sits in silence, stunned. Ada personally brings him his meal, a hot, perfectly plated dish. She places it gently in front of him, saying, "May this meal bless you, sir." No bitterness, no revenge, only grace. Mr. Martin's silent realization, he picks at his food slowly, clearly overwhelmed. Across the restaurant, he watches. Young men wiping tables proudly. Elderly women eating in dignity. Homeless youths laughing with new hope. He sees what kindness builds, a world he never believed in before. He lowers his head. He wipes a tear quickly when he thinks no one is looking. After finishing, Mr. Martins approaches the counter. He clears his throat, struggling. "Do you remember me?" Ada nods gently. "Yes, sir." "Very well." He sighs heavily. "I was wrong. About everything. About you. About respect. You've built something here, something I never could with all my money." Ada smiles, a soft light in her eyes. "We all can, sir, when we choose to see people, not just their position." Mr. Martins hesitates, then holds out his hand. Ada shakes it firmly, a handshake full of forgiveness, growth, and new beginnings. Mr. Martins leaves quietly, forever changed. Ada watches him go, feeling no pride in his embarrassment, only peace that she chose love over bitterness. A line of people outside House of Hope grows every week. Ada mentoring new young staff, teaching them not just skills but dignity. Her mother, now healthy, visiting the restaurant, bursting into proud tears. A small news feature. Former waitress builds restaurant of hope, changing lives one meal at a time. Ada sits by the window again, notebook open, writing. Kindness is never wasted. It echoes beyond the moment, beyond the pain. It creates miracles. Treat everyone with kindness, even when no one is watching. You never know whose life you might change.